Hey there fellow travelers, Beeblebum here, back for a second video in our Basics of Building in No Man's Sky series. Today we're going to be diving into finding the perfect location for your base. Today's tips and tricks should help you find and choose the best spots to start your dream projects. Of course, that's all subjective, as it will depend on what your project is about. First things first, let's talk about terrain. A crucial rule of thumb I follow is never flatten or manipulate terrain to accommodate your base, unless you want your base to be a surprise for future archaeologists. This might seem like a good idea at first, but terrain can regenerate, potentially ruining your hard work. There are many theories why this happens, but it does seem that the game can get confused with terrain modifications, especially when other players join your session, leading to the terrain filling back in and affecting your base structure. Instead, look for naturally flat terrain or consider integrating with existing points of interest. Points of interest will have a flat terrain around them, which can be an opportunity to incorporate it into your base design. If you rather not have a pre-existing building, then one reliable way to find flat terrain is to search for wild base computers. These remnants from earlier versions of the game come with pre-flattened areas. They're like universe built here sign. Although they can be a bit tricky to find, especially in inhabited systems, flying over the planet and following the ley lines can increase your chances. For more info on ley lines, you should check out the guide linked in the description. Another method involves purchasing commercial charts from the cartographer. These are the ones with the red house icon. These charts can lead you to various points of interest, including wild base computers. The problem I found is that on inhabited planets, the wild base computers don't seem to appear as an option. If you however warp to an uninhabited system, wild base computers are the only viable waypoint for those maps. To be able to find uninhabited systems, you have to have installed two scanners, which are the conflict scanner and the economy scanner. Once you have those scanners installed, you can open up the galaxy map and look for star systems that have no data available on every slot of the information screen. Then you can just warp to that system and travel to a planet. Once landed on a planet, trigger that chart and a wild base computer should appear as a waypoint. The target location we're looking for is the habitable base icon, which indicates a wild base computer. Another surefire method is by starting a creative save, which will place you right next to a wild base computer. Then you can note down the portal glyphs and the planetary coordinates, and then travel there in another save for a guaranteed flat location. Still, this technique might not place you on your desired planet, but it is an effective way to find flat terrain. Remember, even with flat terrain, grass and plants can grow back through your floors, so consider building a small foundation to avoid it peeking through it. This creates some clearance between the terrain and your base. Now, if you really want to build underground, then you might consider building in natural caves. These offer a mysterious ambience and plenty of creative opportunities. And caves don't collapse, so they make for pretty reliable locations. However, be aware that past updates have sometimes affected terrain, occasionally blocking cave bases. Now, while the recent updates have focused more on the biome changes than terrain formations, it is still something you should keep in mind. As structural integrity is not a thing in No Man's Sky, a base can be floating. Some people build bases as low as a few meters floating above the surface, while others tempt the limits of the planet. Now, I would advise against making your first build a low-orbit base, as it does take quite some patience and understanding of the techniques and can result in losing the base area if you make a mistake. If you, however, would like to learn how to, I will share a link to the guide in the description of this video. You can of course decide to build near these points of interest, both because of flat terrain and their functionality. One of those points of interest are trading posts or archives. Building near trading posts or archives allows you to trade with pilots and terminals without having to visit the space station. While you of course can build a galactic trade terminal at your base once unlocked, these locations offer unique expansion opportunities and are also great for community events due to the additional landing pad. Another great location is settlements. Settlements provide a bustling environment perfect for city-style bases. Settlements can be found by using a settlement chart, which can also be purchased at the cartographer in the space station. Now, if you don't feel like purchasing one of those maps, a settlement will also call you after 10 warps after you start a new save. It is, however, not possible to build your base computer in the settlement. A settlement is regarded as a base, which means you will need to build your own base computer just outside of the 300 radius of that settlement. After that, you should be able to build into the settlement and even extend your base radius if needed. Once again, I will share a guide for this in the description of this video. Settlements are pretty lively with NPCs roaming around and interacting, ideal for those who want a vibrant base. Now take into account that settlements regularly are attacked by small groups of sentinels. Ruins and monoliths mainly serve for creative purposes. They offer a flat terrain and they also have a little bit of lore. They can be great for a starting point for a unique base design, even though they don't serve many practical functions beyond some lore and knowledge stones. Now, outposts offer a flat terrain, a landing pad and a trading terminal, making them ideal for beginning bases. They provide a good balance of functionality and convenience, saving resources by providing a built-in landing pad at the outpost. Now, crashed freighters and boundary failures, these are locations that are going to be mainly for creative. They do offer a very nice aesthetic opportunity, but aren't practical or functional for your base. Now, while not really a point of interest, more a general environment, building underwater is a great solution to avoid terrain regrowth. Apart from that, the new water physics create stunning views, making underwater bases visually appealing and even more interesting. Sometimes you are just looking for a certain style of planet that suits the project you want to start. Each biome has their own unique vibe or application. A few examples of planet types you might prefer are dead planets or terraforming catastrophes and so on. They are totally devoid of fauna and flora, making them ideal to avoid the flora regrowth, and apart from that they're also perfect for space-themed bases due to their clear skies both day and night. And then we have the hazardous planets. While they are tough on your protections, they can add dynamic and amazing looking environmental changes, making your base feel more alive with events like lightning and gravitational storms. Now, the planet type almost everyone is looking for are the paradise planets, and that is because they offer beautiful vistas, peaceful settings, and are totally storm-free. They are ideal for serene base designs. Then we have the floating island planets. They were recently added with the Worlds update, and they have been very popular with the builder community. While only a few floating islands are solid and can be landed upon, you can extend your base computer radius to build on the non-solid ones as well, offering unique building opportunities. Floating islands have a chance of appearing on any lush type planet. The last type you might be looking for is to build functional bases, like mining or extraction bases. Resource extraction bases focus on gases or minerals, essential for industrial setups. These bases are practical and can be very efficient for resource gathering. Some of these resources are valuable or perfect for easy crafting. Now, power hotspots are very valuable, eliminating the need for solar panels and batteries. In creative mode, you can enable base-wide power, but remember this won't work in other modes. So visiting players, for example in normal mode, will find your base unpowered. To find these locations, you have to use your Analyze Visor to ping for hotspots. Hotspots is where you build your extractors or power towers on. For a more in-depth and detailed guide, check the complete guide linked in the description of this video. And that's about all I can tell you right now about finding the perfect location for your base. This was the second chapter of our Basics for Base Building guide. If you missed the first episode, then I will share it on the screen right now. Or check out this guide if you need more great information. If you found this guide helpful, then don't forget to hit that like and leave a comment if you have any other questions. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to see you again next time. Beeblebum out.